So you recently got interviewed by Sophia the robot. What was that like as an experience? How close did it resemble a conversation like the one you and I are having, for example? And with that in mind, what is your opinion on the future of AI? Where are we going with that?
Yeah, it's interesting. It's almost like when you're watching a film. It's like it's not real, but you have that suspension of disbelief, so that you allow yourself to kind of engage and emerge. Let's say with the film, it's similar with AI. I was talking to Sophia, and part of my brain was like, "This is she doesn't really have consciousness. This isn't real." But another part was, I mean, as naturally as humans, we anthropomorphize and we things that sort of look like and act like they have consciousness, we tend to ascribe it to them. Like I used to talk to my stuffed animals when I was a kid. So it's kind of similar to that instinct where you just automatically ascribe and you start interacting with this AI system as if it's conscious, even though there's another little part in the back of your mind that knows that it's not. And what was the second part of your question?
The second part is, where do you think we're going with the development of AI? Would we ever be able to create artificial general intelligence?
Yeah. So I think there's a number of camps about whether these sort of AI systems will ever be conscious, depending on the theory of consciousness that you abide by or where there's the most evidence. But if, for example, on a number of them, including global workspace theory, and maybe Bernie can correct me if I'm wrong, and IIT, it just seems like there's something about the physical substrate that you need. That I don't think that if it was a software program that you would necessarily get general AI. It's like simulating weather. It's not going to actually be wet, but that you actually need to build a physical structure. It doesn't necessarily have to be out of biological substances. It could be out of silicon, but you need some sort of neuromorphic computer that has the same kind of functional connections that we have in our brain. But I just don't think that you would ever get it from like a software program. And even in a non-biological system that you build, I'm still skeptical that consciousness can be is like sort of substrate independent. Like it can be reinstantiated in any system as long as it has the right kind of functional connections. I just feel like, and this is just, I have no evidence to support this, but I feel like there's something about the biological matter that it evolved within a human species over time in a body, but I could be wrong. That's just a sort of feeling I have. But if it was going to happen, I think it would be in some sort of actually building like a neuromorphic computer that could potentially have subjective states.
Yeah, let me jump in there if I may. We don't have a single complete theory of consciousness. Not a single one. We are maybe at the beginning of building something, a scaffolding for understanding consciousness. But the idea that we have a complete theory, in fact, even particle physics at this point, which is our most advanced scientific theory, is not complete. And it has all kinds of puzzles that keeps people awake at night. So you have to understand that science is a process, and we so far don't have a complete process of science. And that is certainly true for whatever scientific understanding we have of the conscious brain. The evolutionary history, the life developmental history, all those things profoundly change. And your last 5 seconds of consciousness, by the way, all that has profoundly changed your brain and your mind. And so it's a little ambitious, I think, to expect us to have conscious robots next year or in the next 10 years.
And also, the age-old question is that if they were conscious or not, how would we know? And we won't really know unless we have a agreed upon overarching theory of consciousness to know whether that AI system has it. Does a fetus have it? Does a bee have it? We won't really know because it's first person subjective experience, and only that entity knows if it has it. And so the only way we outsiders can know is if we have a really all-encompassing theory, and then we can kind of test these different systems. So there's the question of whether they have it or not. And then the second level question is, how would we know if they have it?